Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I wanted to talk to you about my companion to my planner, which it's a low buy slash no buy year coming up for 2024. But right now the plan is that I have my planner, which is the Hobonichi Weeks for 2024, which is obviously not this one. This is the one I'm still using, so this is the one I have out with me. But I'm going to be using the Hobonichi Weeks, but I also wanted to have kind of a companion notebook with it. And I have shared this here and on Instagram. I actually have a flip of this on Instagram, and this has been such a helpful little notebook. I have made daily lists in here and notes in here. Of course, it's been really easy to rip out pages that are no longer relevant, but I've just really enjoyed this. And this goes back to July, and I haven't used it like all the time or anything like that, but it was just really always nice to have something around that I could scratch down notes on, make shopping lists, and not fill up my weeks with those kinds of things. Not that that's wrong to fill up your weeks with, but just for me, I like to have the weeks used just a little differently. And I know that we're all different, but for me, I kind of see this as like a special planner. And I end up wanting what really happened in this, kind of like a memory keeper, instead of like the scratched up notes of things that didn't pan out or failed or whatever. And sometimes that can't be avoided, like when Steven Tyler gets his vocal cords messed up and can't do your concert that you have planned. So, you know, when things like that happen, you have to cancel your plans. So it doesn't always work out that way, but more permanent things go here, and then I have like little snippets of memories and that kind of thing. Of course, this is coming up on Christmas, and this is like an incredibly stressful time for most people, trying to make sure that you get your gifts in time and everything wrapped and food made and plans and all of the things. But especially if you have a large family like I do, I feel like the gift buying is never going to end. And my 6 kids are getting harder and harder to shop for. So I don't have a lot going on in my planner this week, but I've been focused elsewhere. But still yet, just having a place to scratch down daily or whatever, it's been kind of freeing. And I always kind of hop back and forth between book-bound planning and rings, and I like that I have everything that I need for both of those for 2024, so that I can planner hop without messing up my low buy or my no buy or whatever it's going to be. But I was coming to the end of this notebook, and of course these are like a buck at Walmart, and so I went ahead and I had purchased another one because I knew I was coming to the end of this one, and I was going to move into it. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about like my little humble notebook and my humble notebook 2.0. So this has been a really good companion, and I thought that I was going to move forward with this little guy, but I decided not to. And this isn't like earth-shattering or whatever, but and I might change my mind. I might end back up in this. But a couple of things I was finding that I decided that I didn't like about this notebook. And I will say that this paper, I absolutely adore this paper. Everybody's always about the Tomoe River paper. There's something about this, just it's so easy to write on. I feel like it glides so smoothly. My favorite pen to use these days has been the Uni Jetstream in the 0.7, and I just love the way it writes in this notebook. I just love it. But it's getting kind of rough, which of course this has gotten thrown in and out of my bag and not really cared for very, gently like some of my other planners. And so I feel like it's held up pretty well for its use. But as much as I've been using it lately, I feel like it's about to get like more use and abuse. And so I was like, I don't know. The other thing is, some days this is perfectly good for amount of writing space, but sometimes I'm writing down a lot of things, or I'm like planning out YouTube videos and I feel like I need to like start writing to the side or flip through multiple pages, and I just feel like, do I need a bigger space to write in? And then of course, even though these are really thin, of course, writing over spiral is not my favorite. I can't imagine like going back right now, having experienced book-bound notebooks, having to go like back to high school and write in the notebooks that I wrote in for all of those years, because just when you get to the edge, there's something about it that just, sometimes I'm just a little extra. Sometimes quirky things that bother me set me off, make me go over the edge, which is why sometimes I get over this paper and the smearing and I want to toss this planner out the window, but not right now. Right now we're in a love situation. So when I was thinking about moving on with this notebook, moving into the next one, I kind of sat and talked to myself. I give really good advice. I was talking to myself about what I really wanted moving forward, and I was so appreciative of this little humble notebook that I really kind of felt bad about moving on from it. But of course I have this backup. I can change my mind. But for now, I've decided to move away. And we're going to go with Humble Notebook 2.0, which is a little less humble, but still not crazy. Oh, I'm going to have to raise my camera. Okay, so this guy has a cover, which I like because I kept trying to use like ollie clips and bands and stuff to try to hold this together. And it was kind of making me a little bit crazy. Again, I can be a little sensitive and extra about things like that. Like, I need things to just work and not cause me issues because I just need to go about my day. So I moved on to Stalogy, and I have used Stalogy off and on. I actually have another Stalogy that I have used less than I had hoped for this year, but sometimes my problem is when I make a notebook just for one thing and then I find myself not feeling the need to write things down very frequently in that notebook, and then it takes a million years to fill that notebook, and then I get bored with it because there are so many pages left that I'm never going to get to. Can anyone relate? Is that just me? So I do love Stalogy. I love Stalogy because it doesn't have super tiny grids. I do like the paper. This is smoother though, I will say. I like the paper. I like that it's open to use however you want. And like I said, because I already have my planner, I'm not trying to replace my planner, but my planner is where I want to look at what needs done. And then I want a place to come and write notes, come and write quotes, write a shopping list, write a daily to do. For whatever reason, I don't like to do that in the back of this book. And I like the ability here to look off of my plans and make the dirty lists. So I decided to move into Stalogy, and this one is a B6, and I really went back and forth about whether or not I wanted to have it in a cover or how I wanted to whatever. And ultimately, just for like keeping the pages nice and neat and not worrying about this coming open in my bag, I decided to go ahead and get a cover for it. And this one is, and I don't remember what she's calling this leather, but it is like the pebbled veg tan leather that I don't know. I love it. It's a nice, warm, medium brown, which is always up my alley. And this particular notebook cover is from Jenika's Journals. I have purchased several of her covers in the past, and she's super great to work with. She's a smaller shop. She's like, she will work it out with you. If you want it, she'll do what she can to make it happen. And she's always so kind to deal with all of my little things. I love texture and I love variation, and she's always willing to like make that happen with me. So if you are in search of a notebook cover for yourself, I definitely recommend her shop. She's also on Instagram. She has an Etsy shop, and she just opened like a standalone shop. Anyway, so I have this Stalogy B6. I like the B6 size. I have an A6, so of course I could have just moved into that. but there's something about the B6 size for writing things down that just, I don't know, it checks off my boxes. And so I decided, even though this is much thinner, smaller, takes up less space in your bag, takes up less weight in your bag, I just decided B6 was for me. And so far, I'm super thrilled with it. I decided not to put calendars in here. I could add them if I need to. I had thought about putting monthlies, but like I said, I'm not trying to recreate my planner. I'm trying to extend my planner. So I have a lot of things covered up, and I haven't been using this particular one that long, but it's working really well, and I'm confident that I'm just going to move forward with this notebook. It wasn't dated, so obviously I'm using it in December. I'm going to use it up until it's used for 2024, and I'm really excited about it. I left these couple pages blank. I just always get like some kind of anxiety around new notebooks like this and what you should do with the first couple of pages, so I just usually leave them blank. I might come in and put something here. I might not. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But this is how I'm using it. And it's basically like I was using this notebook, but I just have more space and I don't have to work around the spirals. So taking my daily lists, any kind of appointments, notes, things that I want to write down. We started brainstorming about Christmas dinner this day and things that needed to be done. And the thing that I like about it is you have limited space in planners like this. So I might end up having a list that's too long through here. And so I'll be thoughtful about that lack of space and I won't write something down, but then I completely forget it. So this is a place that I can write something down and I have enough space that I'm not worried about writing it down. And even if I think that there's probably zero chance in the world that that thing is going to get done, I know that if I write it down, I will look at this the next day and compare notes with what I needed to do as opposed to what got done, and I won't lose that information to go forward with. I also love that because there are no rules, I can do whatever I want. So I'm taking notes about my upcoming low buy, no buy year, and I don't want to share them yet because I'm just not ready. I have to flesh some things out before I share, but I will share. Soon these things will be available to you, available for you to see, but just not yet. Sorry, my husband texted me. So yeah, ideas for things that I want to do next year, ideas for YouTube videos, and then things just for the year, and then more things that I need like out and about. Having these kinds of lists with like Christmas and budget and who has what and who still needs, like you need to have that in hand, you know, like you need to have it. And then back to daily to-do lists. So I've really been enjoying marking things off. I do envision this getting tabs added to it to take me to things like YouTube video ideas so that I can turn to them more easily, more quickly. But I've just really been enjoying a place where I don't have to think about it. I don't feel precious about this, but it's also bound, so I'm probably not going to throw it away either. And I don't understand what the difference is for me in this feeling precious and this not. I don't know, but this just holds a different place in my heart, and I feel like I need it to look like thought out and planned. And this is just, oh, I have this in my head and I want to start writing that down. And this is how I envision my year going forward. I feel so much more organized and prepared when somebody has something to say and I immediately go write it down. And I love the idea of just like scratching this up and marking things out and circling things that I need to remember to draw my attention. I've been using this Jet stream with the 4 different colors. I've been making notes about financial things in green because I've never had a Jet stream in the green in a pen before. This one I got from Tokyo Pen Shop and I'm absolutely loving it. So I've just been carrying around this notebook and Tombow brush pen and my pen and my Hobonichi Weeks, and it still doesn't take up a ton of room, but also just like going out to run errands, I probably won't need my calendar, but I would need my shopping list. So most of the time I'd be able to just take this out, and I'm really, really, really enjoying it. I'm enjoying having a bound notebook for this. I'm enjoying having the larger pages with larger space. I've loved not having to work around the spiral in here, and this notebook, you can just use it for anything. There's like no rules because it's not dated. It's not even labeled as a planner, but I absolutely love it. I even threw some stickers on it, which I think really says this is mine. This is like a washi, like more like a washi sticker. And that one I don't believe is going to work out and it's going to have to go. But I was just like brainstorming, but I love the stickers that I have on here. And there's something about it that just, I don't know, it says that I've moved in when I do that to a notebook. Of course, it's made so that you can tuck it in this other side as well. But I more so envision this as a place to put papers or receipts or anything besides the notebook. I just like it when they lay like this. It's my favorite way to use them. This particular cover doesn't have like a pen loop or anything on it, but I'm finding that it's working just fine to do this. So I'm feeling very settled, very settled. I'm really enjoying this pairing, and until I get bored, I think that this is going to be the one. This is working really, really well for me, and I've just felt so functional and so organized and so get it out of my head and onto paper. I was using the back of another Stalogy to do the same thing until the new one arrived, but I didn't feel like sharing it. So this is what I have so far. I just think that it's a great system and I wanted to share it with you. So what do you think about this? Do you have like the same issues, same problems, same struggles with your system, or feeling like one is difficult to write, possibly failed things in because you want it to stay more true to what happened? Or do you love to do the same thing to the bound planners as I'm using this notebook for? I'm really hoping that this helps me be more settled in 2024, and I think that that is what all of us need, so fingers crossed for everybody. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.